Hi guys, we are back with more updates as we wrap up our Reno and move into defects rectification. Our master bathroom shower ledge has been completed using tiles that are similar to our bathroom wall, so it looks more seamless. Our ID gave us option of sintered versus tile, but he claimed that sintered would be less sturdy at 12mm compared to tiles at 20mm, so we opted for two pieces of shower ledge using tile in a triangle shape. Another issue to be rectified was our metal gate. They stick protection over it during Reno, which led to a lot of sticky residue marks after the protection was removed. This had to be cleaned off and then painted over again. There were two areas with grout lines that were super yellowish in front of our island sink and also in front of our bomb shelter. We are not sure why this couldn't be removed after the chemical washing was done after tiling works. But during the post-Reno cleaning, the workers just couldn't get this removed even after multiple trips. The final solution was to get the tiler back to regrout these areas. We also found a few spots here and there with gaps in the grout. Some were larger and some were super tiny like a pen tip size and were hard to spot. The worst part is when you spot new ones after the tiler has just left and you have to decide if you want to just close one eye or get them back to rectify. There were also residue marks on our sintered stone which couldn't be removed even after we tried with a wet cloth. The sintered stone guys eventually returned and managed to get them removed, probably with some special kind of solution. Few days after we moved in, we noticed the electricians didn't even remove the protective layer of the hood before installing. There was no way for us to fully remove it anymore, so we just had to cut along the edges. These are just some small examples which could easily reveal the quality of the electrical works, which is one of the vendors we had most issues with, and we can share more in a future video. And here we are unboxing our new wine glasses from Zelto. The packaging already looks super premium. It is really super light and thin. Anyway, on top of the defects we have shown earlier, majority of the defects are actually related to the painting works. We found a lot of paint peeling off at corners or beside switches, and paint or cement bits not sand off properly during painting. We lost count of the number of times the painter had to return for touch-up. We have more issues spotted later on which we will share again in upcoming videos, but overall we feel the painting works was quite badly done, which we have already fed back to our ID. Perhaps the results could have been better if we contracted Nippon directly. And here is another set of 6 wine glasses from Gabriel Glass. As you can see from our earlier clips, our renovation works have been completed and we are already starting to move our items into the house to prepare for the actual move-in before 7 months. Our ID has not visited site or even seen any of the completed work since a few weeks ago, so there wasn't a proper handover done as well. So we are just reporting whatever defects as and when we find to him, and he would arrange for workers back to rectify. Of course, we would not be releasing final payment until everything has been rectified. In fact, we still found a few issues here and there even after moving in for a few works, and defect rectification still continues. It is honestly quite inconvenient as you have to inform your ID to only get the workers down when you are at home, and there were times when they turned up with no prior notice when we were busy working from home. Here you can see the difference. The Zelto one is really so much thinner and lighter as compared to the one from Gabriel Glass. Of course, it's also much more expensive. This is a set of 4 champagne glasses we bought from Fair Price Finest. Overall, our reno was not the most smooth. There were multiple hiccups along the way and delays to the timeline. Of course, there are worse horror stories out there, so we are considered lucky to have our reno completed in 14 weeks with no major issues. The overall aesthetic was still what we have envisioned, and we are pleased with our material and furniture selections. For workmanship, I guess it's really hard to say until we have stayed in much longer to see how everything withstands time with daily usage. We will still be sharing more post-reno thoughts and tips in our future episodes, so do stay tuned. Next, we have multiple sets of WMF cutlery. It comes with spoon, fork, knife, and teaspoon, and these are all dishwasher safe. After we have unboxed everything, we are trying to wash them using our dishwasher. This is also the first time we are trying it. We place the cutlery neatly on the top cutlery rack, and we definitely still need more practice as we get used to using a dishwasher. Based on our manual, there is a need to fill the salt reservoir at the bottom of the dishwasher before your first use. We were honestly quite clueless. When we did our own research, some say that Singapore's water is not hard, so there isn't a need to use salt. But we decided to be safe since our manual mentioned that this is mandatory. However, it seems like not a lot of supermarkets sell this, so we ended up ordering from Shopee. You just have to fill it up fully with salt and add water, and the dishwasher will indicate if there is a need to refill it in future. So far, we have used multiple times and have not had a need to refill it yet. In the second tray, we placed the wine glasses and secured them well since they are quite fragile. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit all our wine and champagne glasses at one go in this rack. Then we loaded our dishwasher pot, and here we have not purchased any rinse aid, so we went ahead without any. We selected the crystal glass option since we had wine glasses. Here is the result. They really turned out looking sparkling clean and shiny. There were still some water marks if they are not fully dry, so we went ahead to purchase rinse aid to try for our next wash, and the result was much better. Over the weekend, we had a mini move-in ceremony based on an auspicious date. We prepared a few items: charcoal, rice, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, tea, basically 柴米油盐酱醋茶. Also a set of cutlery, a rice bucket, rice cooker, and set of clothes. Technically, this has to be brought with you on that day when you enter the house, so don't be like us and purchase some of these items to stock up your house beforehand, or you will need to repurchase again. It really depends on your own beliefs, but we decided to skip the pineapple rolling since we have already done so on key collection day, and there were so many things for us to bring over on moving day. After we entered the house, we placed everything down and proceeded to open all the windows and doors for air circulation and turn on the taps for water to run about 3 minutes. Then we went ahead to fill up the rice bucket with rice and put everything in place. Since we have a water dispenser and we are not using a kettle, we decided to just boil water using a pan we had on the induction hob. It's also the first time we are trying out the hob. And finally, we also shifted our bed position in place. We also ordered more kitchenware from IKEA, and they just arrived right before our first housewarming session. Unfortunately, one of the plates cracked during delivery and we are requesting for a refund. We'll continue to share more Reno tips and lessons learned, and do also look forward to our upcoming house tour video soon. Alright, that's all for this episode. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Bye!